We will continue with problem 14. On December 31, the investment in branch account has a balance of 84,000. We have the same amount. And the home office account on the books of the branch shows a balance of 97,350. And the question here is, what is the reconciled amounts of the reciprocal accounts on December 31? As I have already shared, class, for this chapter, the question that would be considered as somewhat difficult would be the question on reconciliation of your reciprocal accounts, especially if only one unadjusted balance is given, wherein you will be asked to solve first for the adjusted and work back for the unadjusted balance of the other reciprocal account. Okay, but in problem 14, the scenario here is that you are given with both unadjusted balances. How do we know that the 84,000 and the 97,350 are unadjusted balances still? It's because they are not equal. Okay, the adjusted balance should be the same for both reciprocal accounts. But of course, the problem also gives us with additional information that tends to explain the difference between the balance of your reciprocal accounts. So the goal here is to go over these transactions and determine how they would affect the reciprocal accounts. Okay, so the suggested way of solving this one, class, would be to prepare a table similar to your bank reconciliation. Okay, on one hand, you will have your investment in branch, and the other, you will have your home office account. If our heading, class, is investment in branch, meaning this column is for the books of the home office. Okay, if this is a home office account, so that means this is for the books of the branch. Okay, but of course, if you have already grown accustomed to in using home office and branch instead of investment in branch and home office, then continue to do so. Number one, merchandise billed at 6,150. Let me know if you have different amounts, Kasa. Merchandise billed at 6,150 was shipped by the home office to the branch on December 28. The merchandise is in transit and had not been recognized in the books of the branch. Okay, so where did the transaction originate? It originated from the home office. So would it be reasonable for us to expect for the home office to have accounted for this transaction already? Yes. Okay, but obviously, between the home office and the branch, it is the branch who failed to prepare an entry. Okay, because normally the receipt of the goods would be the trigger point for the preparation of your entry. And besides, the problem has expressly stated that the transaction had not been recognized on the books of the branch. Okay, let's focus first on the home office books. What entry was prepared by the home office? Okay, obviously we are going to classify this as an investment transaction. Okay, so obviously we will have to debit investment in branch. And our credit, as I have explained, for the shipments transaction, we'll have to credit shipments to branch in the amount of 6,150. Was that entry prepared by the home office? Yes. So that means uh, the 6,150 is already incorporated in the 84,000 balance. So as far as the investment in branch account is concerned, we will not do anything for transaction number one. Okay, but as what we have mentioned, the branch has not yet recorded this transaction. What entry should have been prepared by the branch class? Again, this being an investment transaction, this will result in a credit to the home office. Okay, but instead of debiting inventory, since we are using the periodic inventory system, we will use a temporary account, which is your shipments from home office. So the entry in the books of the branch should have been debit shipments from home office and credit home office. But that entry was not prepared. So that means, by the way, what is the effect of that entry in your home office account? It would increase. But since that entry was not prepared, the 97,350 given in the problem does not reflect yet the additional investment by the home office in the amount of 6,150. So to correct that one, we should increase the home office account by 6,150. Okay, plus in your table, you begin with the unadjusted balances. The unadjusted balance of your investment in branch is 84. While for your home office account, it's 97,350. Okay. Second transaction, the branch collected a home office accounts receivable of 25,000 but failed to notify the home office of this collection. Who do we think was already able to record this transaction? Branch, because the branch started this whole thing. It made the collection on behalf of the home office. What entry was prepared by the branch? Debit, cash, obviously. And since the branch is getting something because of the receivable of the home office, we will treat this as an investment transaction. So our credit would be the home office account. So debit, cash, and credit home office account in the amount of 25,000. Was that entry prepared? Yes. So that means the 25,000 is already incorporated in the 97,350. So in our table, we will not be doing anything for the home office account. Okay, but the home office here was not able to prepare an entry because it was not yet notified by the branch. Okay, but is it important for the home office to prepare an entry for this transaction? Yes, because the transaction already happened. Okay, so what entry should have been prepared by the home office? Debit, investment in branch and credit, accounts receivable. Okay, but since that entry was not prepared, so that means the investment in branch account is understated. Why do we say it is understated? Because it should have been increased by the second transaction, but the records failed to increase it by 25,000. So this would be plus 25,000. Okay, number three, the home office recorded incorrectly the branch net income at 11,250. The branch reported net income of 12,150. Here, class, both were able to prepare an entry. It's just that the entry prepared by the home office was incorrect. Let's start with the books of the branch. What entry was prepared by the branch to recognize its income, to close its income to its capital or home office account? Debit, income summary, and credit, home office. Okay, was that entry prepared? Yes. Okay. So that means the 12,150 is already incorporated in the 97,350. What entry was prepared by the home office? Debit, investment in branch, and credit, branch income in the amount of 11,250. The debits and credits are correct, okay, but the amount is incorrect. By how much should the reciprocal accounts be increased? It should be increased by 12,150. But by how much did the home office increase the investment in branch account? Only by 11,250. Okay, so what should we do? We should have increased the home office, the reciprocal accounts. We should have increased it by 12,150, but by how much was it only increased? It was only increased by 11,250. So if you will be asked, what is the effect of this error on the reciprocal on the investment in branch account? It is under or over? Understated by 900. So to correct that one, we will have to increase the investment in branch account. So to correct that one, additional debit to investment in branch and additional credit to branch income in the amount of 900. Still an addition. Number four, the home office was charged 6,400 when the branch returned merchandise to the home office on December 31. The merchandise is in transit. The transaction originated from what entity class? A branch, because it was the one who made the return. What entry was prepared by the branch? You just reverse the entry for shipments class. Since we're returning it, our entry would be debit, home office, and credit, shipments from home office. Will this still fall under our investment and withdrawal classification class? Yes, we will treat this as a withdrawal transaction. Okay, so this entry was prepared by the branch. So that means as far as the 6,400 is concerned, the 97,350 balance is already updated. Okay, but it is the home office who was not able to prepare an entry because the merchandise is still in transit. What entry should be prepared by the home office here? It would be debit, shipments to branch, and credit, investment in branch. Okay, and that entry will result in a decrease to your investment in branch in the amount of 6,400. Because ideally, the shipments to branch should be credited while the shipments from home office should be debited. But here we are reversing the entries because of the return transaction. Okay, and we have already accounted for all the missing transactions or the erroneous transactions. We can already compute for the reciprocal accounts. You help me here. 97,350 plus 6,150. This would give you 100, 3,500. What if the question was how much is the balance of the investment in branch? Will we be able to say that it is 103,500? Yes, because supposedly the adjusted balance of one would also be the adjusted balance of the other reciprocal account. Okay, but please check lang sa 84 plus 25, 109, 100, 900. This one is minus. 109, 900 minus 6,400 will give you 103,500. Okay, so what does this tell us, class? If you're given with a very long problem and the question lang is to compute for the correct or adjusted balance of the reciprocal accounts, what would be the wise approach to the problem? Identify first whether the transactions are an adjustment to the investment in branch account or the home office account. Then you choose to work on with the account that has the lower number of adjustments. Okay, you do that if the problem is very long or if you are short for time. But if you have the luxury of time, class, what would be my advice? Always compute separately the adjusted balances of your reciprocal accounts to make sure that they would balance, that you are able to reconcile them. Okay, but the reality is the more difficult question really would be you are asked for the other unadjusted balance. You do not have any way of confirming whether your adjusted balance is correct. To solve for the other unadjusted balance, you will have to trust that the adjusted balance you have computed for one reciprocal account is correct. Okay, and I believe this problem was included in the exam I have submitted for reproduction class. Okay, but of course, because this is what you will expect. I've only adapted problems from the textbook, but I would be interchanging the amounts. For example, transaction number 3, the correct branch income is 12,150, but what was recorded is 11,250. Okay, I may have interchanged it so that the correct branch income is 11,250, and then the one recorded by the home office is 12,150. So what is the effect? The records of the home office is overstated. So to correct that one, you will have to deduct. And that might confuse some of you because what is being recorded here? Profit. And supposedly, what does profit do to the reciprocal accounts? It should increase. But why would we be deducting something from the reciprocal accounts as a result of the scenario I have described? Because it was correctly increased, class, but the amount of increase was overstated. So to correct that one, you will have to make a deduction. But again, it's correct that profit should increase your reciprocal accounts. Okay, and problem 14 is one of the problems that you should be welcoming because it's only asking for the reciprocal accounts, and there's a way for you to make sure that your answer is correct. Okay, but if we go back to problem 13, uh, problem 13 is asking for the unadjusted balance of the home office account. And what is given? We are only given with the unadjusted balance of the home office account. Am I correct? Sorry. The given is the investment in branch account. And what is asked is the unadjusted balance of the home office. Okay, so what would be the procedure here? You begin with the unadjusted balance of the investment in branch account, solve for its adjusted balance, adopt that adjusted balance as the adjusted balance of your home office account, and you work back to arrive at the unadjusted balance of the home office account. Can I borrow scratch paper or any paper or yellow paper, even a clean yellow paper? Okay, so the unadjusted balance of the investment in branch account is 400, and this is what we are looking for. Okay, we only have 3 transactions, class. Okay, but for some reason, many students would find the first transaction confusing because we do not know how credit memorandums work. Okay, so what happened in number 1? A credit for merchandise allowance for 3,000 was taken by the branch as 3,600. Okay, so class, if you receive a credit memo, it's the same as that entity telling you that they have credited your account. So in this case, what does that mean? This means the home office has credited the investment in branch account. Okay, so basically the uh, amount put up by the home office into the branch is being reduced. So what entry was prepared by the home office here? If you are going to charge this to your shipments from home office, our entry would be debit. Shipments to branch. Our entry here would be debit, shipments to branch, and credit investment in branch in the amount of 3,600. That's the entry prepared by the home office. Now, in the books of the branch, what entry will be prepared? Debit, home office, and credit, shipments from home office. So this is really a form of a withdrawal transaction because the value of the goods given to the branch is reduced due to the allowance. Okay, but unfortunately, the amount recorded by the branch was only 3,000. Okay, so that means the home office account is over or understated? Overstated because it should be reduced by 3,600, but it was only reduced by 3,000. So you will have to reduce it further, amounting to 600. Sorry, I had it the other way around. The correct amount is 3,000. So let's do it again for the let's do it again for the home office. What entry was prepared by the home office? Debit, shipments to branch and credit, investment in branch in the amount of 3,000. That's the correct amount. What entry was prepared by the branch? Debit, home office and credit, shipments from home office in the amount of 3,600. So what then is the status or the condition of your home office account? Understated. Why? Although it was supposed to be reduced class, but the reduction should only be 3,000. but the entry we prepared resulted in a reduction of 3,600. So to correct that one, we will have to increase. We will have to increase the home office account by 600,000. And this is where students get confused here because they would think, what then is the effect of a credit memo? Will it increase or decrease? Supposedly, if the home office credited your account, the reciprocal account should have been decreased. But why are we adding 600 here? It's because we have over deducted, we had an over deduction. So to correct that one, we will have to add back the 600. Okay? I got confused because in the exam, I switched the 3,600 and the 3,000. Of course, the effect would be different. Okay? And again, needless to say, this problem also will come out in our exam on Thursday. I switched uh, the 3,000 and the 3,600. And I think I even changed the 3,600. And I may also have changed the reciprocal account that was given. I'm not sure if it was the investment in branch or I changed it to the home office so that you will have to solve for the investment in branch balance. Okay, but expect uh, those things to be the issue in the problems given in the examination. Okay, number two, he charged by the branch of 5,500 for an advance taken by the president when he visited the branch has not yet been recorded by the home office. Okay, so what happened here? The president went to the branch class and took money class. So as far as the branch is concerned, this would be treated as a withdrawal transaction. Okay. Uh, class, new concept, new guiding principle for journal entry preparation. Uh, we will work under the assumption class that the branch believes that it is the only branch. That anytime it transacts with another branch, anytime it transacts with the officers of the home office, that it is actually transacting with the home office. Okay, so if the branch transacts with the other branch, the branch will see it as transacting with the home office. Okay, as our guiding principle, we will assume that the branch thinks that it is the only existing branch. That anytime it transacts with another branch, it is actually transacting with the home office. So that all transactions with other branches will be cleared through the home office account. Okay, because what would be the other scenario class? If we allow the branch to acknowledge other branches, assuming there are 100 branches, then it will have to maintain separate reciprocal accounts with each branch. And that will only make the record keeping more complicated. So to simplify, the branch will assume that it is the only existing branch. Anytime it transacts with another branch, it will think that it is transacting with the home office. Okay? uh, it will be the home office that will maintain a lot of investment in branch accounts, but your branches will only maintain one reciprocal account. We will emphasize that later on in problem 15. Okay, but let's just finish problem 13. Okay, so we will treat this as a withdrawal transaction, and we will treat this as a withdrawal made by the home office. So what entry was prepared by the branch then? The entry here would be debit, home office, and credit, cash in the amount of 5,000. Uh, in the amount of 5,500. Okay, so was that entry prepared? Yes. Who was not able to prepare an entry? The home office, because the home office was not yet, the problem tells us that it has not yet been recorded by the home office. So what entry should be prepared by the home office? This being a withdrawal transaction, we will have a credit to investment in branch. The debit here would be advances to officers, which is an asset account. which is a receivable by the home office from its officers. So the entry here would be debit, advances to officers, and credit, investment in branch in the amount of 5,000 plus or minus. Minus credit to investment in branch account. Okay, number 3, the branch has not taken up 9,000 covered by a debit memo from the home office as share in advertising expense. So what's the entry for allocation or assignment of expenses class? In the books of the home office, debit, investment in branch and credit, expenses, advertising expenses. Okay? And after that entry, it notified the branch and sent a debit memo. What does that mean? The home office debited the account of the branch. So what should the branch do here? Recognize the expense assigned to it. So debit advertising expenses and credit your home office account. Okay, and this was not yet taken up by the branch. So this should result in an increase in your home office account in the amount of 9,000. Plus or minus 9,000? Plus. And again, this is where it gets confusing to the students kasi it's debit memo, but what's the adjustment? A credit to the home office account. Debit memo meaning the home office debited the account of the branch. Okay? Just because you receive a debit memo doesn't mean the branch will have to debit the reciprocal account. So please take note. And this is basically everything that we need. First, of course, your exam class will have multiple questions for one problem just to give you more points for a single problem. So this problem will come out in the exam, and the first question is, what is the adjusted balance of your reciprocal accounts? Okay, and this would simply be 430,000 minus 5,500. So this would be, and you already have one answer in the examination. Okay, but is this what is being asked in this problem? No, but we know that if this is 424,500, this should also be 424,500. And I hope you all know how to work back na class. If you're working back up, you will have to do the opposite operation. So instead of plus 600 and plus 9,000, deduct these amounts from 424,500, and you would get how much? 400, 414, and this would be your unadjusted balance of the home office account. And you already have the second answer to the question for this problem. Again, anytime you encounter a problem asking only for reciprocal accounts class, you should welcome those problems. Let's proceed to problem 15. So basically, we have two branches involved here, the Nova branch and the QC branch. Okay, but we are concerned with Nova branch because the question is what is the reconciled amount of the home office and investment in Nova branch? Because this problem will also come out in your exam. But of course, the question is not only the reconciled balance or the balance of the adjusted or the reconciled amount, but you will also be asked for the unadjusted balance. Here, we're given with both unadjusted, correct? I'm not sure with the exam whether both. I think only one was given. Yeah, it's very easy to make that change. I will only have to delete that part of the sentence, and it will be an entirely different problem already. So the investment in branch is how much, class? 25,550. And then The home office account is 300. And we have 5 transactions. Okay, number 1. A 12,000 shipment charged by the home office to Nova branch was actually sent to and retained by QC branch. Okay, so what entry was prepared by the home office here? Debit, uh, investment in branch, Nova branch, and credit, shipments to branch, Nova branch. Because this is what will happen in the books of the home office kasi it will maintain separate accounts for each branch that it has. Okay, but unfortunately, it did not actually go to the Nova branch, but it was retained by QC branch. So does the home office need to make an adjustment class? Yes. Okay. What will the home office do? Cancel the entry prepared for Nova branch. So the entry there would be debit, shipments to Nova branch, and credit, investment in Nova branch. But aside from that one, it will have to prepare an entry to recognize the shipment to QC branch. Okay, so what will be the second entry that will be prepared by the home office? Debit, uh, investment in QC branch, and credit, shipments to QC branch. But does that have any effect on uh, the reciprocal accounts for Nova branch? Yes. Okay, this would be an adjustment to the investment in branch account of uh, Nova branch in the amount of 12,000. But what will the branch do here? What will the Nova branch do here? It will do nothing plus because it did not prepare any entry for the shipment and it did not prepare any entry and it is not supposed to make any entry because the shipment did not ultimately go to the Nova branch. Who is supposed to prepare an entry class? It should be the QC branch. What entry should be prepared by QC branch? Debit, shipments from home office, and credit, home office. Okay, but we are not concerned with that one since we are only asked for Nova branch. Okay, second transaction. A 15,000 shipment intended and charged to what branch class? Bulacan was shipped to Nova. What entry was prepared by the home office? Debit, investment in Bulacan branch, and credit, shipments to Bulacan branch. But is that correct? No. So to correct that one, what else should the home office do? Reverse that entry. So debit, shipments to Bulacan branch, and credit, investment in Bulacan branch in the amount of 15,000. Will the home office need to prepare another entry? Yes, to recognize the shipment to Nova branch. So the entry there would be debit, investment in Nova branch, and credit, shipments to Nova branch in the amount of 15,000. And what will that entry do to the investment in Nova branch account? What? Intended and charged to Bulacan. That's why the first entry by the home office is debit, investment in Bulacan, and credit, shipments to Bulacan. That was what was prepared by the home office. And to correct that one, we will have to reverse that one to make sure that the Bulacan transaction did not happen. And as a second entry, we will have to recognize the shipment that actually happened to Nova. Yeah, yeah. If the problem did not say, class, that it was shipped by Nova to Bulacan, then the branch who actually receive it will be the one retaining it. Okay, so again, the entries that will be prepared by the Home Office to correct is debit shipments to Bulacan and credit investment in Bulacan. Second entry, uh, investment in Nova branch and credit shipments to uh, Nova branch. Okay, and do you think the Nova branch was able to prepare an entry? Yes, when it received the shipments. So do we have anything to do with the books of the branch? No. Number three, the home office collects a Nova branch account receivable in the amount of 3,600 and failed to notify the branch. What entry was prepared by the home office? Debit, cash, and credit investment in Nova branch. That entry was prepared and there's nothing wrong with that entry. Who is supposed to make another entry? It would be the Nova branch. What entry should be prepared? Debit, home office, and credit accounts receivable. Okay, and the effect of that entry is to reduce the home office account. But since that was not done, in our reconciliation, we will have to deduct 3,600. Number four, the home office was charged for 1,200 for merchandise returned by Nova. The merchandise is still in transit. What entry was prepared by the branch here? Debit, home office, and credit shipments from home office in the amount of 1,200. The home office was not able to prepare an entry. What entry should have been prepared? Debit shipments to Nova branch and credit investment in Nova branch. But since that was not done in our reconciliation, we will have to deduct 1,000. Number five, the home office erroneously recorded branch income of 16,275. The branch reported a net income of 12,675. What entry was prepared by the branch? Debit, income summary, and credit, home office in the amount of 12,675. And that's the correct entry. Did the home office prepare an entry? Yes, but for the wrong amount. What entry was prepared by the home office? Debit, investment in branch, and credit, branch income in the amount of 16,275. What's the effect of that entry? It will increase the reciprocal account. Was it correct to increase the reciprocal account? Yes, but it should have been increased only for 12,675. What did the home office actually do? It increased it by 16,275. So what would be the status of the investment in branch account? Overstated. So to correct that one, we will have to decrease the investment in branch account by 3,600. Again, this is where students would get confused. Okay, why are we making a reduction for the income when income is supposed to increase the reciprocal accounts? Okay, income is supposed to increase the reciprocal accounts, but in this case, it was increased by an overstated amount. So to correct that one, you deduct the 3,600. Okay, so with this, we can now solve for the solve for the adjusted balance. Let's start with the home office account since it's only one transaction. 27,350 minus 36, that would be 23,750. And hopefully this should also be 23,750 plus 3 minus 1,8, 25,550 minus 1,8, that's 23,750. Okay, so the answer there would be 23,750. Plus for problem 16, basically the same transactions we have discussed. The answer there would be 44,000 and 75,000. Okay, I think this also comes out in the exam. I just changed some of the amounts. For problem 17 class, the answer here would be 496 and 464. But of course, the problems in our exam class will not be multiple choice. It will be open-ended. So you will have to supply the amounts being asked for. The exam is 30 items. A lot of journal entry preparation class. Uh, you're given with a list of accounts with the corresponding letter, and your answer would be the letter representing the accounts to be debited and credited. Okay, if letter A is cash and cash is supposed to be debited, you will put letter A under the debit column. Okay, and there are 10 questions uh, like that. Okay, so and by the way, I think we skipped problem 9. I hope you'll be able to figure out problem 9 already, and the answer there should be delta class.